Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to Babeinlibrary. It's your girl Lisa, and today I'm going to discuss a lot of the series that I have yet to finish. So right now I'm sitting at about 36 series that I have not finished, either because I'm caught up but there's more coming, or I'm just running behind because there's way too many things on my TBR. I've got 2 alien romance series. So I have the Ice Planet Barbarians, which we all know and love, as well as the Very Mates by Elizabeth Stevens. So I've read 2 out of the 19 books for Ice Planet Barbarians, and I've read 1 out of the 9 for Very Mates. Moving on to cozy romance, I only have 1 cozy romance book series, and that's going to be The Four Aunties in a Wedding. Right now there's 2 books, but I'm not sure how many Jesse Sutanto is planning on releasing, but however many there are is how many I will read because I absolutely love the aunties. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about dark romances. Now, I have 3 dark romance series on my list. The most recent series that I've picked up would be Onley James's Necessary Evils. I've only read 1 out of the 7, and all 7 are out. So I do need to go ahead and finish reading them. Another dark romance series I have is by Taylor Rose. It is the Dark, Bloodied, and Bruised series. I believe that there's 2 out, and I do have both on my Kindle. I've read 1, but I've got to read the other. And lastly, probably the darkest romance series that I have that I don't necessarily recommend. I am captivated by it, but it may not be for everyone. And that is going to be Kira Casey's Brutal Winter. I am caught up in that series. That is the first series out of the 6 that I've mentioned or so that I'm actually caught up on. And there's 4. So they're based on the seasons. You've got winter, summer, spring, and we're waiting on fall. Moving on, I have 1 adult fantasy that is going to be by Annie Davenport's Blood Gift. I am caught up, and I also have the sequel. That actually is going to release next week, so I've got to read that arc before it comes out so I can continue to gush about that series. Moving on to fantasy romance. Now, this one I've got quite a bit. One of my favorites is going to be the Mead Mishap series by Kimberly Lemming. This has just been picked up for traditional publish, so I cannot wait to see what the new covers looks like, but I'm going to be honest, Kimberly Lemming's covers that she handcrafted herself are stunning. I've got 2 upstairs in my library. I've got 1 more that I'm going to pick up, which is the newest release at Steamy Lit Con. So I've got to get my hands on it before they are discontinued. I also have another fantasy romance, which is going to be The Raven and the Dove. This is a sleeper by Caitlin Davis. It's very similar to Court of Roses. Speaking of fantasy romance and speaking of Court of Roses, I've got obviously 3 Sarah J. Maas's books that I have not finished. I've got Crescent City. I've read book 1, have not read book 2. I've got Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Rose and Thorns. I have read 2 out of the 4. I don't count the novella. I probably should, but I do need to start that series over. And then Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I read 4 out of the 7. It's a toss-up of whether I will continue to pick them up, but I do need to see how everything merges together. So of course I'll probably just pick it up since all of them have audiobooks. Continuing with fantasy romance, I've got the infamous J.R. Ward Black Dagger Brotherhood. I have read 12 out of the 21. I'm probably going to pick it up. I'm not going to start the series over again because that's a commitment that I'm just not willing to make. But I do know that this is coming to TV adaptation, so I'm probably going to see if I can at least get caught up to last year's book. Moving towards graphic novels, I have read 4 out of the potential 5 Heartstoppers. Love the TV show. Looking for more. I've got 1 Mafia romance. Next month is Mafia May, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to put JT Geisinger and a few others on the list. But so far, I've only read Rosemarie's The Savage O'Shea's. I think there's 2 books in that series, and I've only read 1. So my Mafia romance series are going to continue to expand, but right now I've just got the 1 series. Treading along to manga, I've only read 1 manga, and that is The Spy Family. That's by Tatsuya Endo, and I have read 7. I don't know how many are actually going to be in the series, but I thoroughly enjoy this makeshift family. Moving on to middle grade fantasy, I of course had to put B.B. Austin's Supernatural Investigations. I've read 2 out of the entire series. I don't know how many there will be, but Amari is pretty much my young queen, and B.B. Austin is cousin, and I love everything that he's doing with that series. Can't wait for the next one. Now, I've got 2 monster romances. I am just starting to dip my toe in the monster romance realm this year. Pretty much what got me started was the Leviathan fitness series by Ashley Bennett. I have read the first one, which is Muscles and Monsters, and I have Triathlons and Tentacles on my list to read. It's actually downloaded on my Kindle, so hopefully I'll be caught up. I think the 3rd cover just released, and I'll put that up here. Ashley Bennett is hitting the sweet spot with a monster romance. The other monster romance is Cleo Evans' Warts and Claws, Inc. I actually just read that last month. You all know I stand for office romance, and majority of them, if not all of them, I think all of them are polyamorous couples, which I've struggled with polyamory. However, Cleo Evans is just getting me in the mood there. Now, my bread and butter is paranormal romance, and somehow I only have 4, but I'm sure I'm probably missing a few. The supreme paranormal romance right now for me is going to be Juliet Cross's Stay a Spell series. I am caught up on the series. I have read 5 out of the 6 that there will be. We are waiting for Clara's book and Henry, and I just put in my submission for the ARC, so I'm hoping Juliet sees fit for me to get the ARC. I just need the goodness that Juliet is undoubtedly going to provide. Next, I have read Aaron Sterling's The X-Hex. I'm assuming that there will be 3 books in the series based on the 3 brothers. I've read 2 out of the 3. If we get a 3rd one, I probably will be picking it up just because I'm at the end. And then I've got Sarah Blue's Charming series. So one of my favorite books of last year was Charming Your Dad, and currently I am reading the 2nd in the series, which is an ARC copy. It comes out on April 21st. So I am reading Charming the Devil, which is Lilith and Lucifer's book, and I'm just going to tell you right now, do yourself a favor and pick it up. The last paranormal romance I have is going to be The Supernatural Singles by April Asher. I've read the first in the series. There are 3 books, I believe, based on the 3 sisters. I have an ARC of the 2nd one, which has already released, so shame on me. I will be picking that up fairly soon, and hopefully I'm going to love it so I can continue on with the series. Now, I only have 1 retelling classification on here, which is going to be Katie Roberts' The Wicked Villains. I've read book 1. There are 7 books that are out there. Okay, moving on to contemporary romance, I've got none other than Sarah Kate's Salacious Players Club. I would have said I was caught up if Hidden Highest Bidder didn't just come out. So I've read 4 out of the 5. But Sarah Kate is knocking it out the ballpark with this series. Now, I've got a couple of sleepers in the contemporary romance that I do need more people to talk about. The next one is the Worth It series by Lady Marie. Now, there's only 1 book. However, I know it's a sister series of 3, and I can't wait to be able to get the 2nd and the 3rd because Worth It was perfection. Reggie is top tier boyfriend material. It is fake dating. It is a bunch of family drama, but it is a good doggone time. Now, this next series, contemporary romance, is top tier echelon. Like, it is fantastic. I haven't rated anything less than a 4.5, and that is going to be the New Haven series by J.L. Seekers. I am caught. No, I'm not. I was just about to lie. I have read Restore Me and Revive Me Part 1. I've got Revive Me Part 2. And to be honest, J.L. Seekers just dropped a little bit of a hint. My assumption is she's going to release Part 3 on June 16th. So keep your eyes out and ears out to the street, because once she does that, all hell is going to break loose on IG. The next one is going to be Burned Ink by Naima Simone. Now I hear she's got a heavy backlist, and I'm signing up for it because the 2 in the Burn Ink series, fantastic. Now the next 2 series is by Queen Kennedy Ryan. I would say you've got the Hollywood Renaissance series, which, need I say more? Kenna and Neva, one of the best that I've read this year. There is only one that is out. I do not think we're going to get the sequel until next year, because the second series that I've got to mention by Kennedy Ryan, which is the Skylin series, I think that sequel for that, which is Soledad's book, is coming out this year. The next series that I have for contemporary romance is The Bergman Brothers by Chloe Leese. I would have said again that I am caught up if Chloe Leese didn't just drop the next one in the series, which is Ziggy's book. I actually had to push back my hold because I'm not ready to read it yet. It came in today, but don't you worry, I will be picking it up. So I will be caught up. The last contemporary...
Nope, that's not true.
The next contemporary romance is going to be If Shakespeare Was an Auntie by Nisha Sharma. I've read the only one that's in the series currently, which is Dating Dr. Dill. The next one is going to be set to release sometime this year, and I will be picking it up. These are Shakespeare retellings. Contemporary romance that I am pretty much caught up on, I've got the last in the series to read. That is The Dreamland Billionaires. This is a tumultuous series for me because I loved the fine print, gave it 5 out of 5 stars. However, Terms and Condition was a 2-star read. So I'm hoping it's a high, low, high series. Final Offer has to hit it out of the ballpark and end the series on a high note. It's just a chunker, so I'm a little bit nervous to read it, but I've got to get to it so I can just close out of the series. The newest series, literally the newest series that I am currently reading, is going to be Anna Huang's Twisted series. I just finished Twisted Love, and I'm binging this series. Most of the times I'm going to tell you, hey, I'm going to read it soon, blah, blah, blah. No. I am reading this, all 4 of them this month. So that's going to quickly be off of my list because Anna Huang put crack in the series, and I'm addicted. That's just that. Lastly, because we've already been going quite some time, I want to talk about 2 YA fantasies. The 2 I've got are Supreme. You've got Tracy Dion's Legendborn. I am caught up because how could I not be? I've read Legendborn and Bloodmark. This is going to be a trilogy, so she said, and I've heard it directly from her mouth because I was standing for her in the crowd. I'm begging for it, but I understand it is a process. If you see fit to give it to us next year, I think we will live. I think we can make it to 2024 without pestering you. I make no promises though. And lastly, it's going to be Deborah Ferlehi's Blood Scion. This, in my mind, you couldn't have told me that this was a YA fantasy because it is brutal. It is bloody. It's gory. It is greatness. But it's for the youth. And I'm the youth. Apparently, I'm the youth because it's made for me. This, I believe, is going to be a duology. And let's just end it on a high note and look at these stunning images. This one is book 2. Get into it. So those are the 36 series that I have started but have yet to finish. If you have a favorite series that I have mentioned, or you have a series that I probably should add to this list and start, please put it down in the comments below. Do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye.